is it that if you're fine and you slay, people just automatically assume that you must be dumb? I have personally been a victim of this stereotype, and trust me, there is nothing funny about it, okay? Earlier this week, Serwaa Amihere, who is a presenter for GH1, a very beautiful lady, very well put together, you know, she's always slaying, makeup on point, hair on point, everything is on point. So she has a morning show which she's called GH Today or Ghana Today, and she decided to invite the information minister for an interview. So at the end of the interview, I guess she saved what she thought was the best question or her groundbreaking question for last, and asked the honorable minister about an incident which happened last year during a time like this, which is during the voters registration period. Now I'm going to give you a background just in case you don't know. I'm going to give you a background of what that question was in relation to. So watch this video. Okay, so what you just saw in the video is the National Security Operative, Mr. Mohammed Suleiman, slapping the hell out of Mr. Sam George, who is the NDC Chairman for Ningo Prampram. Now, you hear everybody talking about the recommendation. What was the recommendation? This was a recommendation. The commission recommended that Mr. Suleiman be prosecuted for his conduct or his contribution in slapping Mr. Sam George. However, the government of Ghana rejected said recommendation on the basis that, one, the National Security Guard did not know who Sam George or did not recognize who Sam George was at that time. Two, Sam George was exhibiting some inappropriate behavior on the premises that whole time. They were trying to start a fight with the security personnel, and so things got heated. And three, Mr. Sam George insulted Mr. Suleiman, Mr. Mohammed Suleiman, insulted his personality, insulted his being, insulted his culture, insulted where he is from, his hometown, his mother, his father, his everything. At the end of the day, they decided to reject the recommendation for him to be prosecuted. However, they condemned his actions for, you know, responding to an insult with that dirty ass slap that he gave him. And so that was it. Now, going back to the interview, I'm sure you guys have already seen how it went down and everything, but let's look at this and analyze it critically, okay?
Wrongdoing, the president is not interested in punishing wrongdoing in this country. And the Ayawaso West gun violence has been put forward as an example. Why haven't the people who participated in the violence in the Ayawaso West gun by-election been punished yet?
Which people, and what was the recommendation for punishment that has not been executed?
I mean, we saw a video of a young man.
As per video, you can see, but there was a commission of inquiry.
Assaulting, punishing,
don't worry,
slapping.
there was a commission of...
She won't even let him talk. I don't know what you're talking about. You two are even keep quiet for him to continue talking. Like, girl!
A sitting member of parliament.
If I may, so what was the recommendation which has not been implemented? Then we can get into the specifics.
Reason. What was the reason? I just explained the reason. What was the reason, bitch?
You tell us why government...
No, you asking the question.
Because I saw the government white paper on it.
Yes, you asking the question. The question, I'm sure, is based on something.
First of all, in my personal opinion, that was a very legit question that Serwaa asked. However, the Honorable decided to, you know, deflect from the question. Maybe he assumed that Serwaa followed the proceedings of that situation and knew how everything ended up, so he didn't see why she was asking that question now at this time. But then when he noticed that she didn't have any backing information to support her question, he just decided to double down on her, responding to her question with even more questions, just putting her on the spot and making her look some type of way. Now, already Serwaa has a lot of hate on Twitter because of certain stance and claims she has made in the past. Now, Serwaa actually, maybe not intentionally, but then she comes off as really against the NPP party because she, in her utterance, some of her utterances and some of her tweets, she seems to like want to dummy down the activities and the actions of Nana Akufo-Addo and his government. And so she kind of seems to be like on the NDC side. So when this whole situation happened, you notice that in the tweets, it is mostly NDC people who are defending her and, you know, going in on the Honorable Minister of Information. However, Twitter did not forgive her. They really went in on her, decided to tear her apart and everything. And then her mentor, BFF, Slay Queen Mother, Nana Banamwa, decided to come to her defense, urging people to actually watch the full interview instead of just doing follow and following everybody just because everybody's on the Serwaa hate train. You're also joining. Like, actually watch the video and then judge for yourself. You would see that she asked like genuine questions. I mean, just when I had to call everybody on Twitter and everybody on the internet broke, and that you can spew a lot of rubbish out of your stomach with one Ghana data. So all of you, day your lady, make sure day her lady. You understand? Now, coming to my personal judgment on the whole situation, I don't believe that just this little moment of uncertainty on Serwaa's part actually dismisses her credentials as a good journalist or a good reporter. However, she has a history of trying to, you know, intimidate some of her guests, you know, trying to force. I don't know, I feel she does her interviews based on emotions, you know, so she attaches her personal sentiments and her personal emotions to the type of questions that she asks, which as a journalist you must be objective and not even let people know your stand or anything. You have to ask very objective questions, but I think she has a little issue with doing that part and removing her personal sentiments from the type of questions that she is asking. However, I feel like people are also extremely unfair to her just for the fact that she's fine. I feel like people are very quick to judge and criticize her just because they've tagged her with the slay mama or the slay queen thing, and so she's a slay queen. That's all she knows. Slay, look pretty, do your hair, wear clothes, come and sit down. You know nothing. But I think that's a very unfair judgment. Just because she's put together and she's pretty and she actually puts priority in the way she looks and presents herself out there, it doesn't take away from the fact that she's also intelligent and she's also good at her job. I mean, she's done a lot more interviews. She's done a whole lot more interviews, made a whole lot of statements that are like, you know, intellectually sounding, and so praise her for that as well. Don't only just focus on the few times that she has flopped to just capitalize on it and then take away her ability or her credentials in the world of media and news and presenting and all those things. So yeah, you guys, so before I go, I want to give a shout out to my friend Chris Hans. He's also Nigerian. He's a musician. He has a few songs out. You guys visit his page, visit his YouTube, share his link, listen to his music. He has some really good stuff out there, so you guys please check it out. And don't forget, be nice to people. It doesn't take anything away from you to be nice to people. Dang, you guys are so mean. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, okay?